Hello and welcome to the Bible Difficulties and Answers podcast. I'm your host, Lance Smith. For those of you who have been with us since the beginning, and for those who are just now joining, today's episode is a bit of a departure from our usual fare. It's a quick, special sidebar where we pause to reflect on the incredible journey our podcast has taken throughout 2024. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever you like, and let's dive into the numbers, the milestones, and maybe even a laugh or two along the way. After spending 35 years in the corporate world, analyzing numbers is like breathing to me. So naturally, when it came time to take stock of our podcast's performance, I couldn't resist breaking out the spreadsheets. But don't worry, I'll keep it fun. Think of this as the analytics equivalent of the parable of the talents. Our journey started with a trailer on November 20th, 2023, followed by 5 foundational episodes that laid the groundwork for the year ahead. Topics included Christian apologetics, the cosmological argument, and the reliability of the New Testament. Those 6 initial episodes garnered a total of 329 downloads, averaging about 55 downloads per episode. Not exactly walking on water, but hey, you have to start somewhere. Fast forward to 2024, and we've released a total of 65 episodes. The first half of the year brought in 26 episodes and a respectable 3,207 downloads. But the real turning point came in October with the launch of our Tuesday Contradiction series. Inspired by listener feedback and the Skeptic's Annotated Bible site, this series not only doubled our content output, but also our engagement. By year's end, we'd achieved a grand total of 8,476 downloads for the year. That's a 63.1% increase in downloads from the first to the second half of the year. And no, it's not a loaves and fishes miracle, but it's not bad in my book. We started January with 385 downloads for the month, and by December, we hit 946 at month's end. October and November were banner months, each crossing 1,000 downloads. That's a 135.8% increase in our monthly download rate from the beginning of the year to the end. Talk about momentum. Our average downloads per episode also ticked up slightly from 119 mid-year to 121 by year's end. Our goal for 2025 is for 130 downloads per episode. A whopping 90.7% of our listeners hail from the United States, with Georgia leading the pack at 54%. So a shout out to my fellow Georgians. Texas has now joined California, Florida, and North Carolina in the top 5, nudging Indiana out of the spotlight. Overall, we've expanded from 36 states mid-year to 41 states plus the District of Columbia by December. Only 9 more states to go for full U.S. coverage. So if you know anyone in New Mexico, Connecticut, or the Dakotas, send them a link. Our international audience has also grown dramatically as well, from 18 countries mid-year to 35 by December. Canada, the UK, Australia, Germany, and New Zealand are our top international markets. That's right, we're on every continent except Antarctica. If you're a scientist down there studying penguins, we'd love to have you tune in. Maybe we'll even do an episode on Job's storehouses of snow. Apple Podcast continues to dominate with 23.5% of our listeners. However, there's been a shakeup. Google Chrome has overtaken Spotify for the second spot. With 42 platforms now in the mix, our podcast has become more accessible than ever. If we keep this up, we might even pop up on your smart refrigerator one day. And I'm not joking, but for some reason, sharing a podcast episode on an appliance actually shows up as one of my options. Our most popular episode of the year was the June 21st discussion on Genesis 8:21, the flood versus fire debate. It was 9.5% more popular than the second highest episode. Interestingly, our mid-year champ, Genesis 4:17 on incest or necessity, has dropped to the 10th spot. Listener taste evolve, and I'm glad you're along for the ride. When do you listen? Fridays are the clear winner, with a 6 a.m. Eastern Time being the peak. Looks like many of you enjoy starting your day with some biblical contemplation. For our Tuesday Contradiction series, 11 a.m. seems to be the sweet spot. Is it your mid-morning coffee break, or are you sneaking in some theology between Zoom meetings? Either way, we're honored to be part of your routine. So that's it. Not too painful, I hope. Thank you, listeners, for making 2024 a phenomenal year. Each download, each listen, and each share has contributed to our growth. As we set our sights on 2025, our goal again is to hit an average of 130 downloads per episode. Also, we're contemplating maybe some live Q&A sessions limited to just the members who have joined our Bible Difficulties and Answers Facebook page. Remember, you're the reason we do this. So keep questioning, keep learning, and most importantly, keep the faith. As always, we love hearing from our listeners. Again, please join our Bible Difficulties and Answers Facebook page, where you can interact with me and other followers of the show. You may also reach us at our website, BibleDifficultiesandAnswers.podbean.com, or you may reach out to me directly at our email address, BibleDifficultiesandAnswers@gmail.com, with any questions, comments, concerns, fits of righteous indignation, or just to say hi. I'm always glad to hear from our listeners. Also, please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell a friend or two as well. And also write a review and give it a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, or any of your venues of choice. It really does help get the word out about the most amazing book ever written. Again, I'm Lance Smith. Until next time, I wish you good luck, good health, and God bless. So long, everybody.